Yesterday I was watching a short with two Trump voters that were young males and white, saying that immigrant communities should assimilate. I believe they were for the deportation of immigrant communities. And, ooh, talk about assimilate. Your community, those of European ancestry, those that are white, came to these lands, pushed their way into someone's home, right? The native community, indigenous communities, and asked them to assimilate. Talk about the audacity and entitlement. Why didn't you assimilate? You talk about assimilating when people are in your lands. Well, these are indigenous lands. This is indigenous, made up of indigenous people originally, not of European ancestry, or individuals of European ancestry, or people that look white. This was made up of indigenous communities. So let's start there. But you know, it's crazy because I see this type of behavior, energy, and this entitlement, even when many Westerners go to other countries. They expect other people to know English automatically. They expect other people to have the same way of life, religiously, culturally, traditionally, whatever it may be. And even when I have conversations with people here, you know, when I have conversations in my experience with many white folks, they often criticize much of the life of individuals that, you know, are in certain regions that they perceive, you know, very different. And it's almost like they expect these communities to be like them, whether that be religiously, in terms of how they approach life and perceive the world. And they just don't take a moment to realize how entitled that is and how much that even reflects colonization. And it's very people that say, oh, you know, I stand with the liberal community, the liberal party. I believe in equality for all. But when it comes to seeing people for who they are around the globe, it's sometimes certain lifestyles, sometimes certain ways of life don't seem right to them. Which one is it? You know, it doesn't add up. You want people to be like you, to look like you, to act like you, but you talk about freedom for all and equality. And yes, I believe in, this is why I say the liberal white community is really just very hypocritical. I'm going to keep it real. Very hypocritical, because they talk about, oh, we don't agree with what Trump is doing. I've had those conversations, but oh my gosh, like, you know, how's that life over there? Like, you know, are you okay with that life? Like, I'm sorry, man, but that's a whole different region. That's a whole different community, group of people, and they have their own way of life. Just like you have your own way of life in your mind. Yes. And they don't even take a moment to realize that the way of life that exists today is not the way of life that it was once upon a time with those that truly inhabited and were here prior to colonization, prior to individuals making their way on ships, right, to these lands. There's that.